Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Hive, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on the Disclosure Show with Peter the Insider and myself. And we're going to give you an update about everything that's going on. And without any further delay, Peter is very, he doesn't have a whole lot of time to share with us. So we're going to get right into it today. So hello, Peter.
Yeah, hello, Jessica. I mean, the whole situation is so screwed and so messed up that, to be perfectly honest, I even don't know where in the world should I start. Let's say everything. Sorry, I'm laughing because this is, I don't know, nervous laugh / desperate laugh, whatever, because it is literally like cut it out from those crazy horror movies or video games, like found footage, like you are in the I don't know, real world or normal reality. I don't know how can I call it properly. Well, okay. Let's start from beginning. Myself, not all, but few of Unit 374 members, people, our viewers and listeners don't know, and they don't want to be named or seen or whatever. They want to stay super low level. You know what I mean? Low profile, my bad. Low profile. We were viewing certain video footage, very old one. It was done, it was recorded with very specific technique. It's Technicolor, typical Western country, how can I say it? Western capitalistic country system. So nothing complicated, nothing unordinary, everything fine. But then I was like, what in the world is that? Who in the world will make this recording and convert it to VHS tape? VHS, like normal video, conventional VHS video recorder. It doesn't make any sense. Because once we've got we in army, once we've got some sort of, at the time, once the recording, the video footage was made, high quality video, it doesn't make any sense, absolute, like zero sense, that someone converted it to VHS, and then from VHS, because you can see it clearly that okay, this is from VHS, and then made it back from VHS to digital format, right? And then bam, how can I say, shoot, you know what I mean? Hit the fan. So thing hit the fan, and it happened. We suddenly, out of nowhere, simply, how can I say it? we were stuck, or we are stuck in some sort of very, very weird ass glitch. And this is it. This is it where we are right now, and pretty much like I mean, as we are recording this show, because it's all of our shows are pre-recorded. Sorry for that. I don't know even if you are able to hear me loud and clear, because we are in this crazy, weird ass reality. It is very like, this is next level crap, literally. It's like mix of Escape from Tarkov, is mix of Metro series game. It's some sort of post-apocalyptic stuff. Then Cyberpunk 2077. Everything is here, twisted up, wicked up, mixed together. It's like, what in the world is happening right now? I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. This is crazy.
So the realities of converging. So escape from Tarkov. You said back rooms too, right?
Give me
Escape.
a second. Oh, yes. Backrooms are many. I mean, many. Sorry. There are many video games, and I think few horror movies with this topic, or dealing with this topic. Maybe it will worth to make some sort of list of links in the description of in the description under the video. I think it will worth to make this list of video links, but or maybe, I don't know, movies links. I don't know.
Yep.
It doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it is important, but I'm just saying, I don't know. So we were. I mean, I need to continue. Long story short, we saw, or we were viewing certain videotape, video footage, and it was clear that it was made by some sort of video camera, video camcorder, or whatever, I don't know. And according to clothing style, cars, and whatever, like surroundings, it looks like it was the years. It will be, time period, my bad. It's my head is all over the place. So long story short, it looked like it was in the middle of 70s, or maybe second half of 70s, and it wasn't only in US or in Canada, so North America, but it was in Europe. Few scenes was made in Europe, but it's important. Western capitalistic Europe. What I know for sure that it was here. I mean, I'm not here, but I'm living in land down under. That means in Australia. Certain of them were made in Japan and whatever. And then once we won, because we made notes in notepad, and in diaries and whatever, and then we suddenly we want to stop the video, right? But then boom, we cannot, literally, like you want to hit some certain buttons or whatever, because it's a software. It was we were viewing it in a computer or via computer, and we've got software or whatever, but no. And I was like, aye guys, I've got bad feeling. This is bad news bears. And then it was like everything was so real, and we are here. And this reality is such a, I don't know, it's mix of next level, how can I call it? Craziness. Next level craziness. And then, uh, you know, we were in certain part of the world and whatever, and we were literally cut it out, you know, like with scissors or something like that, and we landed in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, guys, this is not nowhere. This is very bad. And you know, all of us, pretty much all of us, because you know we are serving in this special unit, we know. We immediately
in 374.
Yeah, in 374, we know that we landed in between two small cities in Alaska, in the middle of nowhere, absolutely middle of nowhere in Alaska, in deep Alaskan Midland. Okay, Delta Junction is approximately, I don't know, like 1,000 inhabitants, and Fort Greely, what is approximately like half of the inhabitants, slightly more than 500, something like that. What is, I mean, it is like, what in the world? It doesn't make any sense to build or to settle, to build small towns or villages, let's say, rather than towns in the middle of nowhere. It is very important. I mean, those are very important, both of those, because they've got CRTC in Fort Greely. That means Cold Region Test Center, especially in Fort Greely, right? And in Delta Junction there is, like, let's say, secret scientific research pardon me, research center. So what do we know, or what we after a few minutes get, that there were many, and I mean many, I mean, for normal people, common people, no offense, for random civilians, it will be kind of hard to find them, because once you are random civilian and you don't know what you should look for, it's pretty much, you know,
Well, it's woods, right?
it's
It's kind of
complicated.
wilderness.
Sorry, what?
It's like wilderness.
Yeah. It's complicated to get. Okay, what the heck should I find? What the heck should I look for? But
Right.
it's, once you are soldier, it's pretty much like once you are hunter or trapper or something like that. You goddamn good know what you want. What are your leads? Let's say, and we were like, holy crap, we are here, and it was literally like that. Many, and I mean a lot of entrances to this a huge complex of several dumps. That means, no, you are people not being stupid, but deep underground military bases in the first place. And in the second place, approximately at the time when British Queen Elizabeth II died, crown jewelry, out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, boom, they just, I don't know how can I say it, appeared. And then we were like, holy crap, they are the reactors. And we got it. They are the reactors. And once because we calculated very fast, and there are those trajectories. Do you know what I mean? Of energetic field, how can I say it, levels and of or so, and it will fry you. It will fry you like nothing, like a chicken, like a chicken. So my guess, best guess is that something, some sort of special power is, how can I say it, it's hidden or concentrated in this jewelry, and they are using slash misusing it to their or for their purposes. I mean, I don't know, how can I say it?
Who said it? Was it Shaw House that was doing this?
Give me a second, okay? Shadow Group is doing this, but Show House stole those jewelry. I mean, give me a second. Original one, okay? And they replaced them with I don't want to say fake, but some sort of copy, high quality made copy of it, right? That's, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And we were running like a fools, and then it hit the fan. Crap hit the fan. It's like, you know, this buzzing sound, and then it was the, how can I say it, like a crazy beam, like a sonic boom or something. But there was, and that's the problem, there was no you know, jet fighter, okay, nothing. And that was it. The jewelry, how can I say it, like started the reactors or whatever. We saw those lightnings. They were like rainbow color. They changed the color, like all rainbow-ish colors. The crown, specifically the crown, start to spinning like hell fast. And then try to guess what happened. Then they've got, it vanished. It vanished. And then instead of the crown, it appeared crystal skull.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a crystal skull that was involved.
So
yep.
this is what happened pretty much. And then it was like, how can I say it, like we were like thrown out of this huge circle, and once we want to enter the circle, we was thrown out. It was like you were gel. Do you know what I mean? Like gel, I mean like some sort of bubble. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was permeable or whatever, but it doesn't hurt anything, like no radiation, no nothing. But it was, how can I say it, like,
what do you mean by a gel? You mean like plasma?
Something like that, but it wasn't burning us. There was no radiation, no. Do you know what I mean? No microwave-ish, whatever. It simply made some sort of shield for itself, and that was it, pretty much. Like, end of story, bye-bye. But it was like, holy crap. I mean, this is, no, this will not gonna end well.
Peter, can I just do a review for everyone just to make sure that everybody understands? And so we fully understand?
No problem.
Okay, so in the beginning you said it was like a film, like a VCR tape or a videotape. You mean you were getting this vision, but it brought you into a reality?
No. Sorry, no, not vision. We was supposed to go on a mission.
Right.
Very secret, like high-level secret mission. But in order to do so, there were files, written files, and once we go all of us go through those files, there was few video footages. But last it was like, yeah, 6 of them. 5 of them were good, not a problem. But 6 of them, I was like, nah, this is bad. I've got bad feeling from very start of it. And as you said, it was like VCR-ish type. Do you know what I mean? We older generation, we can understand the quality, I mean, of image and whatever. So,
Right.
or sorry, go ahead.
It reminds me of that series called Archive 82.
Pretty much.
So, because he's reviewing the videos and then he's actually going into that reality through the videos because they're activated. There's paranormal involved. But
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so and then they open up, you know, because they were doing occultic practices, kind of like what you said the Shaw House was doing with the jewels. They were creating some kind of paranormal activity, and then you through the this video were able to see what was going on, and then it opened up to something else. Is that how it worked?
Pretty much. But this is the problem, because there were, and sorry, there are, or there was in the room, not normal like DVDs, like discs, plates or whatever, but
Yeah.
we are using right now like USB flashes, USB sticks or whatever, and try to guess the dates, the shelves, bookshelves, and so many of those USB flashes.
Wow.
They were, give me a second, they were dated to the future. Holy crap. Like from 2000, I don't want to fool you, 2013, 14, no, not 13, 14, 15, but up to 2055, 2056 or whatever. And I was like, what in the world is this crap about? You know, we were literally in one room with something what was, I don't know, like in the end of Second World War. I mean, the dates, do you know what I mean? The video footages, and then I don't know, like 25, maybe 40, 25, maybe 30 years in the future. And I was like, okay, how the heck they know what will happen in the future? Do you know what I mean?
So let me get some clarity on this. So you did the time travel technology, came to this room that had these videos and archived information, and then you were able to see someone. Do you know who left this information for you guys? Was it like one of the corporations?
No, it wasn't. They were not, I mean, or they are not corporation.
Because I saw John Titor at some point.
Give me a second. Long story short, another civilization. No, not civilization, my bad. Another species. But that's the problem, because I think they did big mistake by making, I don't know, because it is approximately 1 century. No, so my bad. Like 110 or 120 years. It's like in the end of Second World War, right? And then it was up to 2055 or 2065. I don't want to fool you. I'm not sure about that, because I wasn't paying too much attention. But what I was shocked from, or what I was shocked by, that it was in the future, and I was like, what? What that mean? It doesn't make any sense.
So, okay, all right. So I just want to break this down. So you went to this location, you got this information, and then did you travel from there again?
Sorry, it wasn't like that. Once again, we saw 6 footages. First
Okay.
5, everything fine, not a problem, fine. So it was like, okay, how can I say it? Step done. Do you know what I mean? And the step, if you want to call it step, like seeing all the footages, last footage, sixth footage was like, holy crap, it doesn't make any sense. Everything was chaotic and whatever. And as I say, it was like by purpose, or let's say on purpose, made with bad quality, because once again, army doesn't never used, quotes in quotes, how can we call it, um, normal or standard VCR or whatever. No, we never used that, or we never used to use so. And I was like, what? And simply we desperately try to stop video or whatever, and we are literally sucked into the reality.
Right. Yeah, that's why it reminded me of that Archive 82, because then it's a very, very interesting show. Someone suggested that I watch it, and I mean, it happened all around the same time that you were traveling, but then you went to this reality that was a convergence of all the different realities that we've discussed, like the Metro, Backroom, Escape from Tarkov. Then there was Cyberpunk
2077, yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, and then you saw was it Tesla, and I saw John Titor, and I asked you about that.
Tesla, what's his name? Einstein,
Fermi.
John Titor, yeah, and
Fermi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enrico Fermi, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the guy who made, because it's like, nah, we know how to operate with extreme small or extreme big numbers, and it's like, nah, we know. Isaac Newton created this part of math. He pretty much created, or let's say he gave some sort of basic idea. But who we met was Grigory Fichtengoltz.
Can you write his name down, please? Grigory.
I think we should, or we can. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Give me a second. I'm trying to get it into our chat here. Look, okay, Grigory Fichtengoltz. And he was like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Making all of those, how can I say it? You know, math, very complicated, like real analysis, functional analysis, and whatever. Do you know what I'm trying? Like differential and integral calculus or whatever. And we okay. And we met and that's just, by the way, I don't believe in coincidences. Tesla, like Nikola Tesla, right?
Yeah.
But we met a few times, just by the way, so far. Elon Musk, but he's not that kind of selfish, and I can't.
So this is in another whole reality that
I can't continue because I really don't like Elon Musk. So he doesn't have any sympathy from my side in your reality, but he's kind, nice, very kind, nice, good guy, helping people in poor countries, whatever. I'm just saying.
So in this other reality, that all of them exist at the same time.
Yeah.
And Is this an example of something that we're going to go through, or just that it's kind of a parallel experience that's bleeding through into our reality, or
My
how
point
does
of
this
view,
affect
it's
us?
only from my point of view, it's only a matter of time once we will go through such a stuff. Yeah.
Can you say what species that was that created these videos?
To be perfectly honest, I don't know, because it is not like I can't, but I really don't know, because they are always behind. It is like behind the scenes or behind the camera or whatever. And
And I mean, if you can't say who they are, that's
no,
fine too.
I want, but I can't, because I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know them simply.
Okay, so
Because it is always like the riddle, because there are those riddles. Like Einstein met Fichtengolds and whatever, and they are making, they are calling it somehow, I always forget that. Long story short, riddles, like crazy complicated math riddles.
well, also you said Nostradamus poetry was there
Yeah,
as
just
well.
by the way, Nostradamus was there, and they were like, "How the hell you don't know Nostradamus?" And he wrote books, not poetry, but books. How can I say it?
The
Like novels?
quatrains and the predictions.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
novels. Okay,
Oh,
novels.
okay.
And the stuff is that was like, what in the world are you making? And I saw Max Caulfield, making crazy pictures and photos, crazy pictures and videos, and they are making fun from that. Sorry.
Who's
Monarch
making?
kids, we rescued from Monarch experiments, and I was like, no, they are not kids right now. They are not youth even. They are young people, but young adults. My bad. But pretty much like they've got some sort of, how can I say it, astral transmission, or I don't know how can I call it. You are psychic, I don't know,
Oh, all
so
right.
I don't
Yep.
know how can I call it, you know.
Yep. Yeah, when you step out of your body and you're, yep.
Yes, because this is like I I met Max, and they sorry. My mind was, once again, my mind is kind of all over the place, because my friends from 374, from unit 374, almost, and that's the stuff, almost killed her, because I was, and I don't know, or I didn't knew, let's say, what the heck is going on. And she got like some sort of LMG, light machine gun or whatever, or some sort of something like M4 or whatever, something like that. And she was able to hide it. I mean,
Mm.
I wasn't able to see it in the reality, but I was like, what? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make any sense. What the heck? And she was smiling and whatever. And in the dark room, light room and dark room, try to think. It is definitely not coincidence. They've got all the secrets, and that it mean, or that means like, they made, and that's the stuff. it looks like it doesn't make any sense. There are just some random photos, short footages. Do you know what I mean? In between, like 1-2 minutes, maybe up to 3 minutes or so. But then, how can I say it? Like it's organized chaos. Do you know what I mean? And then, once you think and look at the photos and videos, and you are getting it, aha, those are patterns. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Yeah.
And then bam, then here math, here we go. You need to get frequencies, you need to get I mean, like color codes. Do you know what I mean? Specific color tones, codes or whatever, so you need to be smart about that and whatever. And there are hidden, or there were hidden messages from the very beginning. I mean, even pre-time, pre-free time. So they were. That's pretty much there. That means Monarch, most effective tool how to manipulate with people, any sort, not only children or teenagers, but any sort of people, right? Like subliminal stuff. Do you know what I mean? Subliminal recitation. Do you know what I'm trying?
The Monarch, they have programs, and I don't know if they're Hivemind, but the kids are doing things, yeah, and they're connecting through time space.
So Hivemind, yeah. Oh, finally we saw Hivemind, but sorry, I shouldn't be that kind of, because I mean, many people believe that it's nonsense, but we literally saw Hive. It is huge. It is like some ananas, and it is buzzing and whatever. And I was like, okay, what in the world is that? And we saw Hive, because in our standard reality, it is only called Hivemind. That is like computer-ish. Do you know what I mean? Like AI.
More like AI and connectedness.
Here in this reality, we saw Hive. It looked like, how can I say it? Like ananas. So we saw few times. We saw pineapple, and I was like, what in the world? This is Hivemind? Yeah, but do you know what is problem? That pineapple is not pineapple. Like, you mean like, okay, so is it pineapple or isn't? No, it has layers. So first it's very small, and then it is some sort of free space to operate. So it is literally like in the Matrix, Jesus Christ. And there are small cells for people. It's like bumping, literally like in the Matrix, like in the first movie, yeah. And then there are this robotic-ish legs or whatever. One how can I say it? One person died or whatever, and it is just throwing this cell out and whatever replacing. So those kind of robotic legs or whatever. So it is free space for that, and another layer and another layer and another rail.
Was it like a facility, or was it on a landmass, or was it?
No. In dump.
In a dump underground.
In the underground military base. I was like, what in the world is that?
Did you try to get rid of it, because it's toxic, isn't it?
A second. Do you know what we are talking about?
Yeah.
We are talking about like the biggest layer. So let's say outside of huge pineapple, we are talking about like water mile. What 400 meters? It's that huge. I am not kidding you, hey?
So then it's affecting all these other realities then?
Pretty much. I don't know in how many percentage is it affecting all the realities which is connected to it, but it is. Yes, I'm sure
But
about that.
you couldn't destroy it. I mean, that was a perfect
Second,
opportunity to.
second, you cannot do it like quotes in quotes killer switch. I mean, do you remember what happened in 1986 in April 1986 in Chernobyl? You can hit killer switch, like I'm calling it killer switch.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, shut it down.
I am calling it killer switch. So shut it down, but you need to be smart about that. Don't do just
Well,
some random stuff because I'm saying sorry. I will clarify why it happened because they want to do it like okay, no countermeasure, nothing. They turned off all of the countermeasure systems. It was like when not 1 dozen, so 12, or I don't know, 10, 8, or even maybe more. And they do it on purpose because they want to just, okay, what will happen once we use or once we do only this? And that was the answer. I mean, sorry, we've got the answer.
yeah.
24,000 years, huge area is completely inhabitable for 24,000 years.
So
Okay?
that could happen by shutting down this.
I mean, give me a second. I'm not saying this will happen like radiation, all kind of the stuff, but we absolutely cannot predict what can happen once we will be, even if we will go, I mean, go around or whatever, all the countermeasure systems or whatever. But we don't know. You know what I mean?
But the
It's
hive
not.
mind is really a problem, isn't it?
Of course it is, but we at least know, okay, we at least know what is causing all the problems. Do you know what I mean? It's complicated. It's like, look, it's easy. One very good and from my point of view solid example. Once you are not quotes in quotes random cop, do you know what I mean? Uniform going on the streets, but you are detective and you are investigating my bad organized crime. It will take years
Yeah, no, I understand
of hard
because
work.
we don't know how many realities that will affect, right?
Yes, and pretty much this is this example because you need to go all you need to get all the names of those people they are involved with this crime, and I'm just saying, do you know what
I
I mean?
just, just my thought was just like let's just get rid of it.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, I know, but I'm
you know
just
what I'm
saying,
saying?
yes.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and there's been a lot. I had some
From
very,
my
very.
point of view, okay, it's big success. After so many years, the largest and the hugest success that we know what is causing these problems. Like a reality overall, realities or contexts. Let's call it contexts of existence, instabilities, layer, bleed truths, and whatever. We are 100% sure what is causing it. This.
So this archive of information was left. Would you say it's about 100 years old or older, or?
No, 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 no. It's very okay, 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 okay. It's like one, two, three. You can imagine it, or not only you, but all of our listeners. You people can imagine it like a huge library with crazy big rooms, and in all of those rooms we've got books or maybe maps or whatever from certain period of time, maybe certain, I don't know, scientific fields or whatever. So it is very well sorted, very, how can I say it, solidly organized. And this is, or those are the new archives we as organization, I mean, we as ACIO got exclusive access to. It's completely new, it's brand new. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's brand new to us. Sorry, my bad. It's brand new to us. It will take tremendous amounts of time, and effort to get through it. But it's opening us so many, options and possibilities to prevent those kind of, let's say, problematic events, or let's say catastrophic, cataclysmic events. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's trust. Somebody, a galactic or intergalactic council allowed you.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
I had, well, a few weird things. I mean, we went someplace we weren't supposed to go. I won't get into it.
That was, I mean, I don't want to talk about it publicly, but I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think it was stupid, definitely not. But I was like, okay, do you really did that, guys? And you were smiling at it or whatever, but hey, okay.
We were trying to trying to resolve a problem, and we went to a location. But since then, Peter, let me just tell you, because we're not going to say where I went. But
Okay.
since then, someone just saw a clone of mine. They said that they asked me if I was driving around, and I said no, and they saw a clone of me right down the street from where I live.
I'm not surprised, to be perfectly honest.
And then I had a dream last night. There was this huge tower. It was really high. It was like almost above the clouds, and looked like it was man-made, like out of bricks. And on the top there was like this wrought iron that went around the top part of it, and then there was like a roof area, and then in between there was all sorts of men inside of there that looked like they were prisoners, and I could hear them, and they were holding onto the bar, and one of the guy was bending the bar trying to get out, and they were all like together, packed in together. And I'm looking at it, and they brought me in really close. I could see all of their faces, and there was no one there that I recognized. And then I said, all right, someone was trying to put me in there. And I pulled out, and I literally felt, this is when I'm sleeping, right? I felt an arm come up under my arm and try to pull me, and I had to pull away to get away from me, because I knew they were trying to put me in.
I want to ask you, we don't want, or we will not mention the location.
I mean, we can if it doesn't bother.
No, I think it will be not good idea.
Okay.
But that's my question. Do you really want to do some crazy stuff again? Because I literally told you don't go there. And it was like, no, it will maybe not a big deal and whatever. And I was like, okay, don't do any crap. And then you told me, we are here and this and that. And I was like, holy crap.
We were right there. And Peter, I just said, I feel frustrated because I know that these things are coming in while I'm at home, and I'm not going to wait for them to show up here. I'm going to go after them. So
yeah, but to be perfectly honest, I was like, okay, fine. You are maybe under psychic pressure or whatever, and you are saying certain things.
Well, I'm feeling pressure because I feel like I'm getting attacked, so.
And then, quotes in quotes, you will cool down and you will not go there. And then, boom, bam. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I didn't finish everything that I saw. So, yeah, I had to fight with something because he was trying to put me in that prison, wherever that was, some weird place.
I know where it is. I know where it is.
Where is it?
Is it important?
Yeah. What would you call that place?
Abatava.
Abadala?
No, Abatava.
Abatala?
No, Abatava.
Tava.
It's
I think camp. Yeah.
It's prison camp in Alaska, just by the way, and it's real.
Those guys were bending the metal. It was wrought iron. They were so angry. They were bending, and these guys look like if you let them loose, Oh my God, they were dangerous. You could see that they were all
Abatava,
dangerous.
you can see it,
Yeah.
Abatava.
The
But
other the place
pretty much
on
once we say Abatava, I think that's pretty much useless to to stay silent about where you was. So where you was in. So I think you.
we might as well say it.
So what you want to say though? What?
Do you want me to say it?
It's up to you, not up to
Yeah,
me.
we were in Montauk. We were in Montauk.
Uh,
So then the other thing that I saw, Peter, this morning, I had a clear vision of a planet, and there were these like men were lined up in groups, and it was a prison planet, and I saw that too.
great.
So, and I pulled out of that space as well. That was pretty crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's great. But jeez, do you know what? I warned you, and it wasn't like blackmailing you or whatever. I just warned you, don't do anything
I
crazy.
know, but
Yeah, our listeners, you can hear it. What's going on between us? I mean, that I warn Jessica sometimes, and she's not paying attention to me at
no,
all.
usually I do, but like in this case, I didn't know how serious it was because a lot of people have gone there. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
But
Okay. I will say you something. A lot of people do that. A lot of people, and that's the problem, believe it is not big deal, but a lot of people, how can I say it correctly? They didn't get how serious our aftermath. Okay?
right, and because I can see things and I know what's in my field where a lot of them wouldn't understand what was happening.
That's it. Why so many people go there and it's like, what the heck is going on? There is nothing to see. It's nothing bad and whatever.
Well,
They, as you said, I mean, it's your word. Those are your words. It's not a big deal and whatever. That's it.
can I just tell you? Let's backtrack a little bit, and it
Sorry.
was related to this thing where I had a vision of a bunch of those kids that were trapped there in Montauk escaped, and a bunch of them ended up in Venice, California. And those kids then sort of incarnated or they somehow just manifested themselves there through time travel or whatever, and then were skateboarders and surfers particularly, and they were really like counterculture. They were rebels, and that's the anger that comes out of being like trapped or being abused, and so it was coming
Yes.
out that way. So I had this person that I was talking to over in Portugal, and she had her, she knows people that are into surfing, and then someone, wanted to rent her space that was a surfer, and a lot of paranormal was coming out of the space. She had asked me to look at it, and there was all this like those portals or something. You said it was some kind of
Yes.
experiment that went wrong,
Yes.
and so then as I was looking at it, this kid showed up with like wavy blonde hair and to the shoulder. I could see his face and everything, and he literally tried to climb through my screen. I saw his hands on the screen, and he was starting to come through, and then I was like, oh my God. So this is why I was like, I need to go to Montauk. So they're coming into my space like this.
Yeah, but though. Oh,
So
okay.
but you said it was some kind of experiment went wrong or something. So
Yeah, of course.
that's why.
All the time, science. It doesn't matter if like army-ish. I mean, science for army purposes or normal. I mean, civilian purposes. Science is all the time, and we need to be quotes in quotes loud and clear, as we soldiers are saying, well, loud and clear about that. Science is all the time try and learn. All the time. because you never know what will happen. You can guess. Yeah. You can guess. You know.
I figured that whatever they were coming into my space, and
because for example, okay, for example, how many people can write? I mean, how can I say it? Write really good or do the things really good with both hands, and there are some.
Yes.
Or for example, there are quotes in quotes chimeras. That means, of course, because you have one solid matter, but once matter has quotes in quotes intimate encounter, you as a person can have DNA of two men, for example, and this is called chimera, right? And it exists. Just by the way, do you know what I'm trying to say? So and there are so many things like that, or dactyloscopy. Do you know what I mean? Fingerprints. No, it doesn't. It's not true that you've got fingerprints only. You've got palm. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what is dactyloscopy about? Footprint, or maybe your ear. Once you put your ear really tight, via all of those things, dactyloscopy can identify you. All of those things, and people don't know. Or for example, one act twins. They've got same DNA profile, but what they are, how you can differ them is only one thing: dactyloscopy. I'm just saying, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's it, and whoever scientists, they were doing all the kind of experiments for not for decades, but for hundreds of years, for centuries, So now, sorry, but as you said, backtracking. Now, once we know solidly know, so once we know for sure what is causing all of those troubles, all of those problems, why so many realities, timelines and contexts of existence are bleeding through each other and causing instabilities and weaknesses, problems, or weak spots, let's say. So now we know how to enter this reality and how, I don't want to say how to operate, definitely not, but step by step. At least we know.
Yeah. I mean that there's repercussions of different things, and that whatever how these things are starting to mix up or converge, maybe to become a solid reality of some sort.
No, give me a second. This is very solid reality. Problem is that, how can I say it? Like, for them, for SAVs, like survivors, SAVs or SUVs or SUVs, they are calling themselves whatever. But it's so weird that sometimes people are living under. I mean, the thing is that so many people are living underground, purely underground, or underground only, because they are still afraid that something is going on, something bad is going on surface, and they don't know. Okay, no, I don't want to go, and of course they don't want to go up, because yes, you are having some sort of light sources, but once you go and sun is up, Do you know what I mean? Especially in certain parts of the world. I mean, once you are on equator or in tropical parts of the world, you will be blindfolded completely. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of very strange, weird ass mix of. It is next level crap, jeez.
But people can walk around above ground.
Yeah. Everything is fine, but I'm just saying
Right.
it's.
But
Yeah,
there's bleed throughs and like Tarkov was bleed throughs and
what, from my point of view, what I am getting, I mean, which kind of quotes in quotes vibe or vibes I'm getting, that people, how can I call it, lifestyle or the way how people are thinking here, they will be bored once there will be no uh, bleed through of new, I don't know, timeline, reality, or context of existence. They simply get it or got it as something what is absolutely natural from time to time after a few decades, but they are making years, is math of years and days and whatever is kind of messed up here. That will be maybe topic for next show or what, whatever.
I have a go ahead.
And this is the stuff. And I was like, okay, what the heck are you talking about? And this is like, nah, that is this reality appeared and that appeared. And I was like, and you are okay with that? Do you know what I mean? Like, and they said, yeah, we've got new reality, we've got new this and that. And this is like, how can I say it? Like, for them, it's just adventure. It's like they don't need to, I don't know, to have space shuttle and to just launch it and go to, I mean, fly, my bad, to another, I don't know, planet or maybe another solar system. They like it. They like opportunity to have it in one place. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Do you see any like I had this conversation with a time traveler. He was a young kid and he was traveling with a bunch of kids, and his name was Daryl Holt. And he talked about living in this reality where, some people were underground, some people are above ground, and that there were these, I don't know, it was androids and some other creatures that were coming in and they were fighting. They would fight in the...
Nope. There are androids, but they are helping us. Like those people, they can't move or they are sick or whatever.
So the androids are doing a good thing there.
In this reality, yes.
Yeah.
Or in this, let's say, mix of realities or contexts of existence, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of Daryl Holt? Does the name sound familiar to you?
Give me a second, yeah. He's doing some sort of public service, I don't know, some sort of charity thing in this reality in California, but
yeah, he was in California a lot.
Give me a second, are you serious?
Yeah.
I never heard his name before. I mean, I never
He's
heard
young.
his...
He was like a young kid. But
Give me
like
a second,
he never aged.
I never heard his name before we entered this reality. Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
He had a lot of friends. He was traveling with these young kids, and they just were he came back in time to check on us and see what happened, and then he said everything was okay, and then he went back into the future, and I haven't heard from him, but for some reason I thought you might have interacted with him in this one.
Give me a second. Do you know? And how many of our listeners will believe that this is not pre-planned? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and so
Okay.
maybe Peter, he said that he corrected everything, so now you're not seeing. There was a battle. There was these huge, giant, like species that were coming in, and they were fighting.
I don't know, but I'm saying that androids,
But they
they've got
fixed it.
certain, how can I say it, very similar-ish, how can I say that, like lights or whatever on left, some of them left or on the right side of the head, and
The
because
blue
they are,
lights, like the round.
yeah, round light, yeah, because they are that let's say hyper realistic that you will absolutely know, like, no chance, bye bye, no chance to differ them from people, and they were happy. But this is it, they've got, how can I say that, tempers too. So yes, they are not tempers, I mean emotions or whatever, because we know that you can code, you can program all of those things, but very friendly. I want to say humans, guys or whatever, once you are friendly to them, it's absolutely not a big problem. Nope.
That's
And
good. Yeah, I think they fixed it.
mostly they are helping SAFs. I mean, they've got the problems, illnesses, sickness. Some of them are cops.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep, yep.
You
There,
mentioned.
there is a lot of criminality, not about the, like, yeah, they are smuggling, people smuggling weapons or drugs, like a drugs, but what is the main part of the problem in this reality? Smuggling of human, but I'm saying completely human, right? Completely human or part human, like they are hybrids or crossbreeds, like human versus whatever species, and they are literally cutting them completely. I mean, killed them, of course, in the first place, and smuggling them for human organs. Yeah, this is the main part of, I don't know, like 70-80% of criminality all over the place, and all over the place. I'm not talking about US. I'm talking about all around the globe. Okay, that's the main part of problem, because people, I don't know, for example, most people in the world, they've got tons of guns all over, all kind of type of guns and weapons, as you can imagine. No, you can only imagine using, I mean, using slash misusing drugs, drinking alcohol. Nah, nobody. We've got much bigger problem here in this reality. I am, respectively, we are trapped in here. I mean, me and some Unit 374 members. So this is not a big deal. This is a big deal, okay? Like SUVs, people, they are SUVs, my bad, survivors. This is like some sort of abbreviation of
Yeah.
survivors or SUVs. They have got either contacts, or they're powerful, or I don't know, they've got money. I don't want to say money like currency. Do you know what I mean? Like dollars, euros, or pounds, or whatever. But currency can be everything. Currency can be. Some people are even smuggling guns, even drugs, but it's minor. But they are. What is most desired, quote unquote, currency? Food, water, information. I mean, just by the way, any sort of food. That means fruits, vegetables, meat, everything you can eat. Water, I mean drinkable, pure drinkable water, and of course confidential information. So this is it. And once you can pay with this, or let's say once you've got enough of this, you can exchange it for pretty much any kind of organ for your body, right? And this is the main part of, how can I say it, the biggest deal via criminality here in this reality, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is it. And no matter which kind of continent you are, or because there are no, let's say, literally pure continent or pure part of the world as in our actual reality, like most of Africa is very pure, most of Latin America is pure, certain parts of Asia are pure, whatever. No, it is not like that. No, it is not like that. It is in this reality not. But I'm just saying how it is, okay? Just for better imagination of how situation is here, or what we are dealing with right now.
Well, was there a war over there? Because you're bringing up the metro and, um, oh yes, cyberpunk. I guess everything's more AI.
Give me,
So
once again, no, please, no. It is not about war. It is that so many realities merged together, and there is one right now here is pure madness, is chaos, okay? Even once sometimes you, how can I say it, enweaked, quotes in quotes, that means you make certain portals weak enough, you can go literally to any sort of layer of reality or realities, multiple ones, not dozens, hundreds of them. And you are like, what in the world? Do you know what is kaleidoscope? Pretty much.
yeah, you mentioned the kaleidoscope effect.
And
Yeah.
this is the main part of problem. It is like not only Bermuda Triangle, Alaskan Triangle, Australian Triangle, whatever it is. We've got like Pacific Triangle, what is in between Japan and China and whatever. So those weak spots with how can I say that, like extremely unstable electromagnetic field, they are. I mean, there is the same problem, and they are in the same places in all of the realities, all of the context of existence. Yeah, that's something what is like, okay, this is very interesting. This is like, ha 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 ha, something is wrong here, or wrong. I don't want to say wrong, but it's worth to think about it. Let's name it that way, huh?
Yeah. You said something about Mars too. How is this related to Mars, or is it a place where the archives were? Do you jump to Mars from there, or?
Let's say Mars is, in this context of existence, Mars is, how can I call it, bubbled. It's they made some sort of bubble pocket-ish reality, and they transported there some sort of very specific archives. They believe, I mean, they said, sorry, my bad. They said, and it looks like, I mean, according our knowledge, what we know, that they can be older and maybe even more complex than Akashic records, just by the way. But this is the stuff. You need a very specific conditions, and it's goddamn complicated to get into this quotes in quotes bubble-ish Mars, you know, stuff. Because in normal, what we can call normal in this mix of realities, in this mixed realities, Mars is simply Mars. That means another human colonized planet.
Right, right.
And just by the
Which,
way, give me a second, give me a second. No, 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 we are not discriminating a woman. Nope. Venus is colonized too, just by the way.
All right, so I have a question from that because I had a recall of the group of us 374 traveling, and we were interacting with different people. We went and jumped, and there was a point where I felt like I wasn't sure where I was at, but it sort of looked like Mars, but it didn't feel like it was Mars. And then we went to Mars, and so I was trying to understand that, and then I saw this area. Hold on, let me see if I can just pull that up. And so that is, and do a shared screen. So this is the Houghton Mars project, and it is in Devon Island in Canada. And so I talked to you about this because I felt like at some point I felt it looked like, oh yeah, I recognized there was some mountains here that looked very familiar to me. And so then I started realizing that it wasn't the whole trip that I was on Mars, but partially was there at some point. So can you explain to people how, as much as you're able to, how this is working, and that, it's not just that people are being transported to Canada and making it look like Mars, but that it's actually something else?
Pretty much and I am not kidding you, okay, they are able to multiply, that mean like you've got double, like also, I mean like twin, but it is not your twin, but as you said, like someone who literally look like you, speak like you, or whatever, and this is it.
But like a photocopy, like in John Carter, they make
give me a second, not photocopy, but you actually will be
there,
able to travel to this place, to experience the whole, how can I say it, wilderness, because it's in the middle of nowhere in Canada. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I will say why. They were doing this with this specific place. Try to get why. Because it's in the middle of nowhere, and no one, respectively nobody, who is at least some sort, or who has at least some sort of basic sanity, will be not able to travel there, I don't know, in the northern part of Canada, in the middle of nowhere, and verify, yes, okay, it is like it is. I mean, it is when someone is claiming, or nah, it's complete nonsense. It doesn't make any sense, and those people are saying complete blah blah nonsenses. I'm just saying, okay? So that's the reason why scientists, they are making those experiments, why they are choosing those parts of the world. They are totally remote, they are super, like out of reach. I mean, I don't know, like for example, small islands literally in the middle of nowhere in Pacific or Indian Ocean or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just for example.
Yeah, because we talked about, was it Tonga? That was related to, I don't know if it was related to the A-Team.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. So, and they were using that. They have underground facilities. Yeah. And but there's also Antarctica, and that I felt like whatever my involvement with the space program was, I started doing cryotherapy and going into like this really, really cold, like it's 150 degrees below zero temperature. And I'm having no problem at all being in there. It's a really weird, and I started seeing myself, whether it was Antarctica or someplace that was very cold. Maybe it was Alaska too, I don't know. But it's like they were preparing me for something, and I've never done anything like that before.
You are well prepared already, believe me, and I don't want to comment it anymore.
Yeah, well, I think that I was I was surprised because I'm the first one. I know I live in a northern area, but and it does get cold in the winter. Usually, I can't stand it. But when I go into cryo, I absolutely love it, and I don't even know what. I mean, it was kind of a weird realization, but it feels really good to the body. I think a combination of like heat, like from saunas or like the red light therapy, and then going to cryo too, and it just felt like it was very healthy, rejuvenating. But I had a vision at one point where I was somewhere that was very cold. I'll just say it like that. I'm not sure the details of it, but so getting back to this Mars space. So you mentioned that space, that reality that you went to was related to Mars, and then I had this recall of being on Mars, but going to that place in Devon Island as well. So thank you for verifying that. And is there anything else that you want to say about that?
I think that's enough for right now, for today.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you, Peter, for your time. I know you've been busy. You've been very much into these missions. I haven't heard from you or seen you much, and so I'm glad that you're back and able to join us. I know it felt like it was a little tense for a little while, like it was difficult for a while.
Yeah,
You had a bit of an incident with Lincoln was sort of in a situation, but that's okay.
yeah, and we wasn't able to get medivac, what is like highly specifically modified chopper. I mean helicopter for transporting uh, injured, mostly heavy injured. I mean several severe injured soldiers. So that was kind of bad situation too.
Yeah, and maybe we can get the team together and do another roundtable and
Maybe.
to discuss your mission, your most recent missions,
Yeah.
whenever
But
you're
I'm
ready.
I'm happy. But though I am happy that we was able to make this update, because it worth it to let people know what's going on, and I'm really happy, and stay tuned, all that, guys.
All right. Thank you, Peter. And we appreciate all of our listeners. And thank you for joining us today, as well as thank you for your support, both financially as well as supporting us in the comments and asking really good questions. And, just kind of being there and understanding where we're coming from. Thank you. So we really appreciate you. And thank you, Peter. We know that you go through an awful lot. We'll continue the conversation another day. Have a good day, everyone.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All the links can be found in the description. Thank you.